Hello, everyone! Welcome to our third week in a row of
Well,
Order of the Blue Lotus. Brandi, it's a miracle.
it is a miracle.
I-
It is a miracle.
How have we managed that? We did more streams this month than we did
I
for like the 3 months ahead of it.
I was gonna say, I'm starting to think that, like, season 2 of this show is maybe slightly cursed because, like, we had no problems. Like, we breezed through season 1, and then
Oh,
season
yeah.
2 hit, and we were like, "We can't find the time to do it." And now we're just like, "Of course we're gonna do 3 weeks in a row."
This is easy. Yeah, the universe has been kind. It's allowing us to actually sit and do stuff. So woo. But yes, welcome to everyone. I see we have Shadow Cat saying hello. Same for Louise X Sparrow. Good to see y'all got in here for our stream. Again, we're talking Painted Lady, book 3, chapter 3. We're just dipping our toes into book 3 now. And this should be a fun one because I have feelings about this one that are we'll get into it more. But first we have to talk about the episode description because as we've seen for the past 2 books and now past 2 episodes with book 3, Brandi is so much better at it than whatever is doing the descriptions on Paramount Plus, which if it's a person, I apologize. If it's an AI bot, run. But for the Painted Lady, we have the official description being when the gang comes to a oh, they didn't even spell it gang with the AANG. They spell
Yeah.
it gang.
Yeah.
Boo.
You would think they
But
would
when
know,
the
but
when the gang comes to a suffering fishing village, a mysterious spirit appears to help the villagers. Honestly, it's one of the better ones that they've had lately.
yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's Can you read it again?
Yeah, yes. So we have when the gang comes to a suffering fishing village, a mysterious spirit appears to help the villagers. Like, I'd say this is
Yeah,
one of the better ones that they have.
that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. Yeah, okay.
What do you think?
This is what I have. The gang must decide if they will stay on their invasion schedule or help the people of a suffering Fire Nation village.
I like it because then it doesn't give away anything of like the spirits or the details. It keeps it nicely vague.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. Oh my goodness, we have a lot of people in here. We have the nerdy Viking saying, I would have preferred the pizza lady. Now you're talking. You don't have your two-headed fish or your clam to eat while you watch our stream? What?
We need to talk
Yeah.
about these things, by the way.
Oh, and there I looked up specifically the horrifying fish imagery from this episode. Rapunzel says it was all the avatar dice you sent out. They were lucky. Now we're getting semi-regular streams. You're right. It is funny though. We're already on our first sidetrack of the night and we're 3 minutes in. But the post office that I go to is a very rural Michigan post office. Like it's in a little village of a town. And the lady who works there now knows me from TV. And so I go in and she's like, "Oh, hey, I saw you on this morning. What are you shipping today?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I'm shipping little buckets of Odo from Deep Space Nine with slime," or "Oh, I'm shipping a bunch of dice to the UK and everywhere in the United States." And I swear, I make her day now because I walk in and she's just be like, "What are you sending now?"
Like, what are you
So
doing? What are you
the
doing?
Avatar dice are the most tame of all of them. So I like to think that it brings us good vibes. And sidetrack, go back to the main track. We have a lot with this episode to go through because it starts out with, for me, something that, oh, it just grinded my gears when I watched this episode the first time because I'm a germaphobe. I don't like germs. I don't like sickness. I don't like pollution or anything. And Aang just went full on, I'm going to get hepatitis mode and jumped in the river.
Yeah, like one of the first things that I have is like, why is Aang in that river?
Why?
More importantly, why is Appa swimming in there?
Oh yeah, it's like, dude, you could walk. You could just walk on the bank. You don't need to be in the river. Ah. I think that totally sent me when I was little. Just like, no, no. And that's why I had such a violent reaction to this episode. Oh gosh. Yeah, this and poor Sokka. Sokka's just trying his best to provide for the fam.
Yeah, he's doing his best. He's trying to keep everybody on schedule. He's trying to make sure everybody has food. Like he is full on mom in road trip mode.
Oh, completely. He's
Yeah,
like, all right, guys, can we stop at McDonald's? We have McDonald's at home. And this
yeah.
is the McDonald's at home.
No, we packed McDonald's on our road trip.
So true. Oh, Shadowcat said, or Appa could have flown over the water.
Yeah.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true. Corey saying, hi, what's up? Good to see you here. And that badge you sent me is officially stolen with my hat. Oh no, Shadowcat. Well, for book 3, we have more giveaways, so no worries. In about 2 years, you'll actually end up getting to the end of book 3. And at this rate, we could be finishing it up in a few months. But
Well,
we'll see.
we'll see.
The holidays are coming up. And,
Yeah. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Exactly. But we start out with that yucky river and Sokka's schedule. And this man, I want to know where he got his organizational and drawing skills. Because, like, growing up in the Midwest with snow, like, you can take a water bottle and you can carve out snow. You can, like, design things. Like, it's not like he was starved for art supplies. Snow is very usable. So what is he doing? Like, I don't know. I just feel like that could have been a smaller scroll.
Oh, no. Very detailed. Very detailed.
Right
This
down
is
to the potty breaks.
Yeah, right down to this is minute by minute.
He's not counting on anyone getting constipated, so let alone food poisoning. Which, I mean, if he gives them any fish that he would have caught from that river, food poisoning's not too far away.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting is that they keep going and buying fish from this.
Yes! How good is the original fish?
Yeah.
Like, there's berries around. We find out within the episode that there are berries. That's probably how they figured out that Appa was fake sick, was they just got sick and tired of eating the clams and the fish, and they're like, let's scavenge. Are these nuts or are these rocks? Nice little, yeah. But yeah, we get to this part where you walk out and Toph is just like, what? I don't see it. And as a kid, I didn't pick up on that because I'm an idiot, apparently. But I love the little detail there. Like, oh yeah, no, she can't see what's happening. It's like, oh, the writers do care.
Yeah, just like a little thing. And yeah, and I think this is the first time that we've seen like a village on a river.
I think so. Because most of them have been to the sides of rivers or near rivers, but this one is like firmly on it. Well, and then we get just this river. This river, it irks me for many reasons. The second of which is this dude, Doc,
You don't
Shu, and
Mushi.
Mushi. He freaks me out.
What? No.
As a kid, and even as an adult, I'm just like, oh.
He's harmless.
He is. He's just a little like, I'm the fun kind of unpredictable. He's the, oh gosh, what are you doing next kind of unpredictable. Which for some is the same thing. But
I don't know. I think one of my favorite moments from this episode comes at the very end where he's like, I'll go get my brother Mushi. And like he takes his hat off in front of the kids. And then like the hat like falls down and Aang is like, huh, we knew it. You're the same person. He's like, what? No, you know who that sounds like? My brother Doc. He's crazy. And Aang is just like, ah!
Yeah, just the anime style of animation for that, where it's just like, just hilarious. Yeah, this, he's harmless. He's like that old guy at the nursing home who just wants to hang out and chat. As a kid, it totally freaked me out, and I was very confused. So it gets better. Now, let's see. Shadowcat says, "Have you started Babylon 5 yet?" No, because I'm in the process of getting ready for a Comic-Con, and so I have no time for myself. Yay. But yes, we get introduced to Doc. He shows us the village, and it's sad. It's honestly, it's so depressing. You get the little kid who just makes me sad. He comes up, he's like, "Can you spare some food?" It's like, oh no, not the children. Do war crimes against the adults, not the children. So I do like how it does show the darker side of war.
Well, that and like it also shows like the darker side of war for people who are like within the nation that's like, starting the war. Like these people like don't really have anything to say one way or the other about the war because like they feel kind of disconnected from it.
True.
Other than like the factories right there, and then obviously that's affecting where they live and everything like that. But yeah, like even when Doc or Shu or whoever it is explaining like what's going on and why the river looks the way that it is, like he even says it kind of just like in like this nonchalant kind of way, like he doesn't have like any too negative emotions about it. He's like, yeah, like it's affecting us, but other than that, whatever. And then like he also doesn't immediately like shoehorn like, but we're happy to, to do this before, the love of the Fire Nation or anything like that. Like they seem like just completely in the middle of the road and like, this is just like what their life is, which I think is interesting.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and being so close to like they're in the Fire Nation at this point, right?
Yeah.
So they're kind of just like, yeah, our government decided to build a factory right next to us. Oh well.
Yeah.
Gotta make the most of it, which honestly, I'm seeing some parallels actually to the area that I'm in because Michigan is expanding like these solar farms and battery plants and it's taking away a lot of farmland. And a lot of our farmers are very upset because they haven't had a say in it. And so I'm just like, well, this hits a little close to home. Ooh, yikes. And it's funny too, because I had a Enbridge oil spill in our Kalamazoo River that goes right through Battle Creek, and it started right near my house. And so I'm just like, polluted river, factory that was put there without the people's consent. Oh, this is depression. And then to add on to it, you just have like the most awful, like,
yeah.
Okay, you could make it a two-headed fish, but why'd you make it ugly? Like, it didn't have to have the little, like, beauty mark.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
It doesn't even have pupils.
Well, I mean, it's dead. Plus, like fish eyes, aren't fish eyes just kind of like black?
I thought they had pupils. Well, what do fish eyes look like? Oh, my government agent who watches everything that I do is going to be very confused. No, they have little irises.
They're mostly like black. Plus, like I don't know. The eyes aren't really what scare me the most.
I love bubble eyes.
It's the slime that's literally oozing from their mouth. Like that's
yeah. Well,
yeah. I also love how Sokka is kind of like, this is like this is a bargain. Like he sees no problem with this.
Well, and Toph's back there about to like puke. Aang's just like, are we seriously doing this?
Well,
the real question is,
even eat it because he's a vegetarian.
That's true. What's Aang? They could just eat what Aang eats.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fine. And like, this isn't even, to me, the most horrific thing that they find at Doc's or Shu's shop, I guess. Because they find these clams.
Yeah. No. No, thank you.
I'm starting to wonder if this is the episode that started the thing in my brain that makes me not want to eat seafood. Because, like, I've never eaten fish or clams or anything from water. So this might be it. This might be my origin story.
I think that is perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, it just... Oh, this village, they're hurting something fierce.
Yeah.
And Katara knows it too. She kind of talks to the guys and she's like, hey, listen, something's got to be done. We can't just leave these people. And Sokka's like, oh, we got our schedule. And so enter
Well, and I think that
mysterious.
Sokka makes like a very good point. I think it's like the second day
Mhm.
where like they go back and he's like, they've noticed that like the villagers are like a little bit more upbeat and they
Mhm.
Doc like or Shu, well I think it's Shu, explains
See?
explains that like, they've been visited by the painted lady and everything like that. And Sokka is just like very clearly like, well, she better keep coming, otherwise they're just gonna end up right back where they are because,
Mhm.
the problem is the factory. And so like for Sokka, I think in his brain, like yes, like he would want to help them, and I think that he wants to help them too.
Mhm.
But he's like such a big picture right now that he's like, we're so close to just ending this war,
True.
and that's what really needs to happen in order for
Yeah.
the problem to be fixed. And so that's why I think that he doesn't really even
Mhm.
like. I think like I mean, he doesn't really show much compassion. Like he's just like, let's go.
Yeah.
Like we're so close to doing what everybody, wants to do. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that like even Aang doesn't have much to say in the way of like, you know,
Mhm.
like oh this war's terrible and like it's very clearly Katara's story, which I think is
Oh, yeah.
important. Like but like everybody else just is like, yep, like this is just like the world we live in. Let's
Mhm.
just keep flying.
Yep. Well, and Rapunzel hits it right there on the head. Sokka's a mission guy. Finishing the mission will help everyone more. And he says that in the episode. He's like, we're going to help all these people by taking out the Fire Lord. It's
Yeah.
like, shh. But also, yes. Like, but then it also, you get more into the, how do I put this? Governmental and industry side of things. Like, even if you take out the Fire Lord, will the factory stop? They're still going to want to go forward with technology, blah, 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 blah. So, it gets, brain
Yeah.
goes too deep.
Yeah.
But yeah, even Aang, like at this point, and we see in future episodes when we get closer and closer to was it Daydreams and Nightmares? Was it? Um the one with the Appa and Momo who could talk. Right
Yeah,
before he
yeah,
came.
daydreams and
Yeah,
nightmares.
that one. So we see like he's starting to focus more and more on the invasion and like seeing the bigger picture too. Whereas
Mhm,
Katara, I think her insane amount of empathy is what drives her. And they definitely push it more towards an extreme side of things with this episode where Sokka's really into focus and Katara's really into helping. But
mhm.
it's within their character realm, so
Yeah.
I'll take it. Yeah, and it is cool to see how the village, after one night of mysterious lady, they're like, "Oh yeah, we have this mysterious spirit. She hasn't abandoned us. She's got us. We're fine. Farewell."
Yeah.
Where has she been this whole
W
time?
well,
Is it
there's
a
a
fan
fan
theory?
theory.
Okay, we're good. We'll push that off. But yeah, I just like, okay. Yeah, I mean, you'd think they'd have like a giant, what would the word be? Like effigy, something like a statue of her, or something
Well, I
before.
mean, they do, like, they eventually, like, bring it back out. I think what probably happened was that, like, they if like, think back to the village in season 1 with Heibai and how, like, there
Uh,
was, like, the statue of Heibai, like, in the forest and stuff like that. I'm pretty certain that, like, the statue of the painted lady was probably in, like, town the center of town and stuff like that, and then, you know, as things progressed, like, they thought that she did abandon them, so they were like, "We'll just take it down," and, all this stuff, and so, yeah, like, I think that they probably thought that, like, she abandoned them, so then they
Mm,
abandoned her, is kind of how I've always kind of thought about it.
hmm. I could see that. It's kind of like putting your volleyball net away in the fall because it gets cold, but then you see the forecast as 80s for like 7 days, so you bring the volleyball net back out. Like, yeah, summer hasn't abandoned us.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, it's neat to see they bring it back out. The village is happy, and we get more healing. And the painted lady comes back, and boy, is it a coinky dink that Katara looks exactly like the painted lady.
No, no, like, you can see at the end when you see the Painted Lady. That like the Painted Lady is very clearly like a Fire Nation descendant and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. She has
So
like more angled features and stuff.
yeah. So like you could see it, but yeah, it is kind of interesting how the Painted Lady has more of like a water tribe like feel, like especially like with the water
Yeah.
and the healing and everything like that. Like it feels a lot like the water tribe. Um but I
Definitely
think
being a water spirit.
yeah, that's what I think that's what I'm trying to say, water spirit. Um but I think even like on the wiki, like it says that like the Painted Lady is very closely connected to the moon, and so that's why like a lot in this
Mm.
episode like you see the moon and stuff like that, so like it's it's connected to UA a little bit.
Yeah, it's the moon
Yeah, like
spirit, the ocean
she's
spirit,
a
the river spirit.
she's a river spirit, yeah, but like at the same time, like I think that's very interesting that here we have a spirit in the Fire Nation and it's water themed.
Yeah, you definitely get like maybe a cross. Oh, what's the word? Like if you had a Fire Nation person and a Water Tribe person and they married and had babies, like
Yeah.
sort of a thing. Like it's a cross between the cultures.
Mhm.
So it is. It's cool. It's an awesome costume. I don't know
Okay.
how Katara sourced it, but it's an awesome costume.
Yeah, she I think what's great is that like so the first night she goes to the village and she's probably just, sneaking around. Nobody's, everybody's sleeping, what have you. And then they go to the village again and they're talking about the Painted Lady. And then that night she's like, "Yeah, I'll just dress up like her."
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like someone who, like, around Christmas time gives a gift to a kid and they're like, "Oh, you're Santa Claus." And they're like, "Who's Santa Claus?" And they're like, "This is Santa Claus." It's like, "Oh crap, I
I'm
could be.
Santa
Let me go
Claus.
grab a cosplay."
Yeah. I could make it better. Hold on.
This is we actually have cosplay and Avatar.
Mhm.
Awesome to see. Yeah, it's and then we get, she sneaks out. Appa still is sick. She
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So they're like, "Oh, Appa's sick." And then like l- like on the third night or something, Aang is like chasing down the Painted Lady to
Mhm.
heal Appa. Um, why doesn't anybody just ask Katara to heal Appa? Like, I get that Katara knows that he's not sick, but why is nobody looking at Katara and being like, "Do your thing"? So they,
The magic water.
yeah, especially like Sokka, like, "Oh, like can't you
I
heal
think
Appa?" And then like Katara could just like lie and be like, "Oh, I don't know how to do."
yeah. Well, isn't
It's an animal.
doesn't she come to hit them and be like, "I think something's wrong with Appa," so they maybe assume that she already tried to heal him?
I don't know. I just would have liked
Maybe?
like a little line where they were just like, yeah, because she's like, I think something's wrong with Appa, and like they're like, oh no, what's wrong, buddy? And like just Sokka being like, well, just heal him, and we'll
Yeah.
get going. And like Katara could just be like, oh no, I can't. She could have been like, I've
It's a
already tried.
virus.
Yeah, like she could
Yeah,
have been like, I already tried and it didn't work. Like I just wanted something simple like that instead of
I
just
like
being
that.
instead of Qatar just being like, "Oh, well, we could go into the village and see if they have the right herbs," and Sokka just being like, "Yeah, yep, no, can't use magic water." Like, I
Yeah.
just want an explanation.
I definitely think it was an assumption that, oh, if she found him, she would have already tried to heal him maybe, but
I Yes, but if I
it
don't
would have
see
been
it, it
nice.
didn't happen.
Marcus Aurelius Qatar doesn't accept his healthcare plan. She's out of network.
For real.
That- oh, that's something that they could expand on in the new shows if they go beyond Avatar: Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
How does Water Tribe healthcare work? Do we have like Water Tribe healing urgent cares? Like,
I was about
yeah,
to
I'm getting
say,
ahead of myself.
I feel like if it goes super modern, then like we also have to have like dramas, like TV dramas within the universe of like
Oh yeah, kids' TV shows, they can have a
Yeah.
cartoon within the
No,
cartoon.
but it's like a medical drama.
Yes,
It's like
Grey's Anatomy, but
yeah.
that would actually be incredible. Also, something that I just noticed when I pulled up this image, Momo's just sitting there licking his tongue.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, Momo probably realizes what's up. He's like,
Momo, you he's licking his tongue.
"Oh,
This whole
no."
episode is a lack of hygiene. Complete abandonment of hygiene. I child Katie is not pleased. It's fine.
I don't think grown Katie is pleased.
Grown Katie is still not pleased. Grown Katie will never be pleased. Uh, but I do like how they worked Aang into this story.
Yeah.
That did please me in this episode because it was natural. It's like, oh yeah, makes sense. She heals people. Maybe she has more power than Katara will. Let me just go and see if she can heal my bison. And
Well, like
lo and
that, and
behold,
he's also just like, I'm the great bridge between your world and mine, like he's trying to like pull the avatar card, being like, I know you're out of network, but
I really do like how he pulls the avatar card more in this season. He's
yeah,
like, okay, I'm okay with it. I'm actually the
like,
avatar.
I don't
Especially with
want
the
to brag.
spirits. Yeah. I just have this little connection. It's definitely is like he's pulling the I'm the avatar card in out of healthcare
Mhm.
system. But I love the little line where he's like, "Wow, you're beautiful. What was it? You're much prettier than most spirits I meet," or something like that.
Yeah,
Just flashing back to Ko the face stealer. Just like, yeah, that tracks.
yeah.
So, what do you
But
think about
I feel
Angst's
like that phrase or that line is also like a dig at Roku. Like he doesn't think Roku looks particularly.
Roku's sitting up there like, man,
What's that
you see
supposed to
this?
mean? And
Yeah,
Kiyoshi's just over there like, yeah, you don't look the best. You didn't age so great. Maybe living by a volcano wasn't a great idea.
that's sulfuric acid. Does wonders for the skin. Now I need to see one of those Kiyoshiisms. The TikTok page that reacts
Yeah.
as Kiyoshi. Oh yeah, and if any of you guys haven't seen that, there's a TikToker who reacts as Kyoshi to scenes from Avatar: Last Airbender, and it's absolutely hilarious. I will randomly send some to Brandy at times. Uh, just fantastic. But what do you think about Aang's decision to go with Katara and actually blow up this factory?
I think that it tracks, Like he likes destroying things. Like he's still 12. He, like this is just like I think airbender like tendencies. Like it's very like nobody's really getting harmed.
Mhm. He's
And
rationalized it.
yeah. So he's just like, well, of course. He's like, it sounds kind of fun too. Like he's having a blast. Like
Oh yeah.
they go into that into that factory, and the only thing that Aang's thinking about, he's like, heck yeah, nothing better than destroying property with your girlfriend.
Let me go grab these mitts and dump some metal ore.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I'm kind of upset about is that they didn't go back and wake up Toph, because Toph would have had a
Oh,
blast.
Toph would have gone off on that place. But it's like she's a metal bender. She could have ripped all of that out.
Oh yeah. Like
Oh,
yeah.
maybe when they were cleaning up the river after she got all the earth gunk out of it, she went back and just took all that metal and
Wreaked
crushed it
havoc.
into the equivalent of a sphere. She made it into a public art monument.
Yeah.
Just crushed metal. I'd like to think that. But yes, alas, no good things can go unpunished, as this world has taught so many of us, and this show teaches us at a very young age, because all of a sudden, the Fire Nation's angry. Someone destroyed their factory. Okay, yeah, let's go and wipe this little village off the map, I think is how he puts it.
Yeah.
But I do like this kid and his little
He's
"She's
coming.
coming." I didn't understand that reference, but now I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
that's a horror
hey.
movie thing. Oh, he's so sweet. But my question is, do you think that's a birthmark or a burn?
It's probably a burn, let's be real.
I think so.
Yeah.
I couldn't find anything when I looked. Granted, I didn't look very hard, but I couldn't find anything when I looked like about this kid.
Mhm.
So, poor little guy. At least now he has clean drinking water because Qatar comes and just absolutely scares the crap out of these Fire Nation soldiers. Like it's exactly like what they tried to do with Haru, where she is like earth bending style, and she's pretending to bend.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Only
little
only
thread.
this time, like, Aang was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah." Like, instead of being like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, I got it." He was like,
Yeah,
"Let's go."
I'm ready. He was so invested in this, and I love how he's like, I'm the Avatar, but I'm gonna follow your lead. Like
It's
you're the
it
painted
it
lady.
yeah, 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 like, it's my girl's time to shine. I'll step
Mm-hmm.
back.
Yep. I'll work from behind the scenes. I'll make sure that when she says she needs to float, she can float. And that actually is another thing that I needed to bring up. This. How does she keep her balance? Like, I flail when I'm jumping on a trampoline, and she went like 60 feet in the air.
Well, I mean, she can also, like, walk on water, so
Fair point, but still, I'm amazed at her balance capabilities. And like even that would be enough to scare me. But no, you add this menacing little like
yeah.
I don't know how much time you've spent around Greek women, especially elderly Greek women and the babas and the yayas.
0, but, I
Oh,
love that you think that I have.
well, you never know. But it's funny because most of them have arthritis in their joints, and
Mhm.
that gives them like these huge knuckles, and their hands are a little gnarled. And so if they point at you and they're like, "Hey, you," and it reminded me exactly of this shot. It's just the yes.
I do
So
think it's
I
interesting
thought that
that,
was
like,
hilarious.
this is almost like a precursor to what happens in The Puppet Master. Like, it's like
Oh, you're
it has
right.
so much, like, horror to it, and it's just like
Oh.
yeah, like, if The Puppet Master didn't happen, like, people would be watching this, like, every Halloween, but then
Oh yeah.
they're like, "Oh, nope, we we have The Puppet Master."
Yeah. Well, they decided to take the painted lady and they were like, you know what? Let's give her steroids.
Let's
Like,
crank that up to an 11.
this does actually kind of go with a theme you notice in the Puppet Master, in the Painted Lady. They're in the Fire Nation, but the colors are somewhat muted.
Mhm,
You see their color of sky choice. Their sky is very gray. They have a lot of cloud cover. I dare say mostly to completely cloudy with cumulonimbus clouds in the distance. I don't get to flex much, you guys. Just accept it. Uh, but you get the haze. Everything's yellowish, reddish, tan. And this if you go back to like season 1, there's a lot more vibrancy and more colors.
mhm.
And I think they do this better than what they do in Harry Potter, for example. Harry Potter, it got so dark so fast. By the 7th movie, you couldn't see anything. They just turned off the lights. This
Yeah.
was an actual adjustment of the color scale to give it a more haunting, hollow look.
Mhm.
I love the art design behind this.
Yeah.
Oh, Rapunzel. Sorry, not to cut you off, but Rapunzel has a good idea. Puppet
Yeah,
Master Halloween
I
watch
was thinking
party.
I was thinking about that because I was like, "Man, I really wish that next week was the Puppet Master with Halloween and everything," and then I was
Oh,
like, "Do we do we do the Puppet
do
Master
we
out of
do that?
order? Do
I would
we
be down for it
do we
because
do it out of order?"
I'm taking November 1st off of work. So if we wanted to, after I finish scaring some trick-or-treaters, we could do a Halloween watch party if you guys want to. What do you guys think? Watch the Puppet Master on Halloween? And if that does work, let us know what time you would like it,
Exactly.
because I think most trick-or-treaters are done by 9:30. We could just have a late stream if that works.
Yeah.
we'll find a way. But I definitely think if the chat's down for it, I'm down for it.
Okay. All right.
That is a haunting episode.
It
Gosh
truly
dang.
is.
Like, I watched 2 episodes of TV on Halloween. It
Mhm.
was 3, but then for my sanity, I stopped watching the Fright Night from, or not Fright Night, the circus dude and Danny Phantom. I watched the Puppet Master, and then I watched the sound episode of the Magic School Bus. Have you guys ever heard of that one? I'm gonna try to find a clip because that absolutely scared the daylights out of me. So, we'll find a clip. The Nerdy Viking says, I'm in usual time. We could do it before trick or treating if that works for you guys.
Yeah.
Awesome. That way we don't have to stay up late.
Woohoo!
Huzzah! Yeah, this is what adulthood is, isn't it?
Yeah, as we inch closer and closer to 30. Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought you were going to say death.
No. No.
I mean, both
No,
are
no, no, no.
true.
No, I mean, it is within my usual realm of comedy, but
I
I
love
was
that
going
now
a
it's
little
just like
light.
expected.
You were like, of course Brandy's gonna make a death joke.
It's the best kind of jokes. Your times confuse me. If I'm around, I'll join. Louise X Sparrow, it'll probably be the usual time. So I think you're 5 hours ahead of us. So 10:30 in the evening. I don't understand daylight savings time and how that all changes, but same time.
Same bat channel, same bat time.
Exactly. And we get to have a little bit more of a scare than this reveal to the villagers. Like this reveal, it's like, oh, we thought it was our spirit, but it's just a girl.
You're that colonial girl. That's
Yeah,
exactly how
well,
they say it.
and then they get mad. And it's like, why? I mean, yeah,
Well,
I
no,
get it.
they don't get mad. I think, well, yeah,
They
yeah,
get
I guess they
kind
do.
of mad.
Because they're like, you're just a waterbender. And it's not even that they get upset that she's a waterbender. They get upset that she impersonated their dear painted lady.
Yeah. It's the conundrum of if you do a cosplay and you do it wrong, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like you go out on stage pretending to be the actor, and then I'm just some local person. Aw." Be sad, but no, I do like Sokka standing up for me, like you should be on your knees. Thank you.
Well, and I think we completely like glossed over like this really great moment before, because like the Fire Nation is like
Yes.
coming to like destroy the village, and they notice it, and so Sokka's like, we just need to leave. Like, let's just leave. Like, Appa is fine. And then Katara is
Mhm.
like, I'm not going to turn my back on people who need me. And she just like immediately
Mhm.
storms off. And then he chases after her and he's like, well, I'm never going to turn my back on you. And so like it was just like, I think that's such like a great like little sibling moment where you're just like,
Yes.
oh, and then I think Katara even puts it like best, like, oh, Sokka, you do have a heart.
And Aang's just like, he really does care.
He does care. And then Toph does what Toph does, and she punches people. And you know
Yeah.
what? I think that that's fine. I love that for our girl. Um,
It does. It is a nice, almost subliminal thing to have to teach kids where it's like, you don't have to fully agree with someone's idea or even be on board with their plan, but you still support them.
yeah,
And
and that
I
actually
like that
reminds
messaging.
me of like this great line from Star Wars The Bad Batch. And
Ooh.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen it, but there's this great line from Tech, and there's I can't remember who he says it to, but he was like, "Okay, I understand." And the person is like, "Yes, thank you." And he goes, "Whoa, just because I understand you doesn't mean that I have to agree with you." And I'm just
No.
like, "What?
Mm,
What? What?"
that's such a good.
It's
Oh,
such a good line. It's such a
I love
good
it.
line. Yeah. So yeah, like I think that Asaka does that exactly in that moment where he's like, "Listen, I understand where she's coming from, and I may not completely agree with her, but she's still my sister, and so I'm
Mhm.
still going to do, you know,
Yeah.
whatever it is that she needs me to do." Like
She's
he's
gonna do
willing
it
to,
anyway. I might as well be there to help.
Well, yeah, but it's like him willing to like lay down his pride and be like, okay, of course I'll help you.
Mm.
So
I like
great
it.
little moment.
Aw, it's so good. Oh, and Rapunzel has a fun comment. Campfire horror story. And they removed her blindfold and she saw the number 30 on her cake. Ooh. That is funny because my birthday's coming up here in just a few weeks. 2, 3 weeks. November 9th. So big old 2-7 coming my way.
Woohoo!
Yeah, it's I asked for a lot of cosplay stuff for my birthday.
And she's young at heart.
Oh, I am always okay. I'm gonna use up another one of my sidetracks. I'm trying to keep myself to just 3, but I did a school talk last week with my elementary school that I went to when I was a kid, and one of the teachers I had her. She was a nice lady, but I went into her classroom and there was a bunch of kids, as you'd expect in 3rd grade. And I'm like, "Hi guys, how's it going? I'm Katie Nicolau." And it's like 1:30 in the afternoon. They're almost done. They're very tired. And this one kid raises his hand like he has a question. I point to him and he goes, "You have a lot of energy. How?" I was like, uh, natural charisma, sugar, but it was so deadpan. He was like I was looking at a 40-year-old man.
I love it when kids are 12 going on 40. I don't know why, but it's just like, bro, it ain't that deep. Calm down.
Exactly. It's like it's fine, man. Get back to your drawing. It's okay. No, because then there was another girl, and she's like, "Oh," or I said, "Oh, I'll see you guys next year." She's like, "Oh, you keep coming back for year after year." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm basically a ghost that haunts the school system." And she goes, "Oh yeah, you look like a ghost."
Savage.
I'm like, you know what? I might as well just take the white balance and just. Woo.
I love how seamlessly you just did that. That was good.
I can seamlessly edit my appearance. Let's see. Rapunzel, I too would like an answer to the energy question. I'm young at heart. It's like the 10th Doctor. He's 904 years old and still bounces around like a baby.
Listen, I have a Katie theory here. She actually is in such a deficit of energy that her body overcompensates.
Yes, that's what that constant ringing in my ears is.
Like, let's see here. How long have we known each other? Like,
oh gosh, going on 7 years?
Sure, let's say 7. Yeah, that sounds about right. For 7 years, I have listened to her go, "I got no sleep, but I've been up for 36 hours." She's just like,
let's just keep going. It's like when you take a wind-up toy and you crank it too far.
Yeah, and then like one day, like I'll just get a message and she'll be like, I slept for 48 hours straight. And I'm like, Katie, those hours do not roll over. It doesn't work that way.
It's like vacation days at work. You use them or lose them. Like you can't.
So yeah.
Oh gosh.
I think
so true.
I think the answer to the energy question is to create a deficit where your
Such
body
a deep hole.
doesn't
come out
think
the
it
other
needs
side.
it anymore.
Oh, brilliant. Also, Rapunzel, I completely agree. I need to have a Borg birthday cake. 100% agree. Okay, so sidetrack comes back to the main track. We get the nice episode. They clean up the river. It's blue again. Everyone's doing fine. And like, it's happy. And then you get this lovely closing scene with the actual painted lady. I love that they used this to end the episode.
Yeah.
They didn't just like fly away with the river in the background. Like they actually had that calm one-on-one moment.
Yeah. I think it's very sweet. And I think it also kind of like shows that like Katara can leave the village and know that the painted lady has like returned and like they're gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Like I feel like it was exactly like the little bit of closure that Katara needed to like leave and still be like, okay, these people will be all right.
Yeah. Well, if I was Qatar there, I would have been like, "Where have you been? Like, where did you go? Come on!" And you get answers, but yeah, if a spirit showed up to me, I'd probably just scream. So Qatar handled it like a
With
pro.
grace. With grace.
Yes. I do like how you mentioned before she's like a water, but clearly Fire Nation spirit.
Mhm.
And that is in the facial structure too. If you look at how her face is, it's very angular. It's very much like Azula's versus Katara's when she's the painted lady, and it's nice and round. It has the chin bone to the shape. So they follow the style guide, and that is again more attention to details
Yeah.
that the writers and drawers and animators and everyone just gets absolutely correct. So, and then that's it. We don't have an Iroh and Zuko story in this one, do we?
No, there's no B story at all. It's just 100%
They're like, we're giving a
Katara.
Katara an episode, and we're gonna make it the entire episode.
You know, Katara gets like 3 episodes in this season. Just 100% her.
Yeah.
We have this one, we have the Puppet Master, and then we have the the little mission that she goes on with Zuko.
Zuko mission.
Yeah, the Zuko mission. So things are really coming up Katara.
Ah, perfect. It's her season to dominate.
Yeah.
And she does so like a queen. And that's it.
Yeah.
Unless I missed something that you wanted to chat about.
Let me see.
I started actually organizing my notes beforehand and my images,
Wow.
so it's gonna go a lot smoother here for the rest of book 3.
Oh, I just noticed. In one of the scenes, I don't know, it's like when they're just at camp. You can see the bag that Sokka bought in the Blind Bandit episode.
Really?
Yeah, so I always really love when they like take the time to like redraw stuff like that. So you can see the bag, which I think is just hilarious to me.
Oh, that is actually really cool. Yeah, I'm going through all the pictures. I'm like, I don't think I have one of the bag. I have one of all these 3 nutcases, but I don't have one of the bag.
And then also I really love like at the end where they where everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, like she impersonated the painted lady or whatever." And then they're all just like standing around and they're like, "Well, what are we gonna do now?" And then like Toph just like pops up in the crowd and is like, "Maybe we could clean the river." And they're like, "What? Yeah, maybe we could clean the river."
It's so honestly, like that's how it would happen in real life too. Oh, good old Toph coming in to rescue everyone.
Yeah. But I think that is interesting that like as they're cleaning the river, like it's a very like quick like little scene, but like guitars bending and Aang and Toph or earth bending and stuff like that. And like these people who are very clearly Fire Nation and like kind of like the enemy, like they're just, they're okay
Ooh.
with it.
I never thought of it that way because I always think of them as an Earth Kingdom colony for some reason.
No,
You're right, they're
no.
firebenders.
Yeah.
They're Fire Nation.
Yeah, they're Fire Nation. So or at least
Huh.
I don't think that they're a colony because they
Nah.
very quickly like they're like, "Oh, like the gang says that they're from the colony." So then like they start calling
Right,
them
yeah. Oh, colonials.
yeah, "Oh, hey, colonials." So yeah, so like they're very clearly in the Fire Nation and then, you see they're very clearly bending and using their own elements. And it's just like,
True.
yep, they're cool with it.
Fine with that.
Yeah, we're fine with that. Works for us.
I mean, if she's helping us, we might as well accept it. You got a couple people in the background grumbling, but it's fine.
Yeah. So again, like I think that this is very interesting that like I think that this is the first village that we see in the Fire Nation where they're just not completely like pumping the propaganda. Like this is like so
Right.
like far off from like the mainland or something, and like this village is literally nothing. And so like it's just interesting that they're not just like singing the Fire Nation song and how their heart burns for Fire Lord Ozai or something. Like
There's no public school on that boat or floating city.
yeah. So I think
Not a
I think
chance.
that's kind of interesting, kind of
Well,
seeing.
and you go from the headband, which was a very affluent community, to this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, and you're like, oh, okay, so kind of interesting.
I like that. Good observation.
I try my best, I watch these with a fine tooth comb, and I go, okay, how can I pick this apart?
Let me just this and this and this and this.
This and this and this and this.
Well, if that covers everything, shall we get to our fan theories?
Yes, let's.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
excited for this.
Okay. The very first one. Simple.
Okay.
Shu, Doc, and Mushi are actually just suffering from like an illness from the pollution. And that's
Oh.
and that's what that's why he's a little kooky.
Oh, if he's the fisherman in town, that would make sense that he has a higher pollutant concentration. Maybe he has like mercury poisoning. He's just the Mad Hatter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe that's the connection with him changing his hats. He's the Mad Hatter. I'm digging too deep into this.
Boom. Done. That's it. Nothing to explain there. He was a normal guy.
He was the best guy
I'm sorry.
around.
I just made it a lot sadder in my brain.
Oh no.
What if there were 3 brothers? Hold on, like get out a tiny violin, Katie. Actually get out a full-fledged violin. It's gonna need it. What if there were 3 brothers? And the other 2 were firebenders and they got pulled into the war. And they never returned. And then he was the only one left, and so he assumes his brother's identities.
Oh no. Brandi, no. That you should put that on a discussion board. You really should. You're gonna make a lot of people sob.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. I'll stop.
He was a normal guy until the river pollution attacked.
Really, like honestly. And then
Brandi, no. You made Rapunzel cry.
I'm sorry. This isn't a theory, but it was a question that I wanted to ask of you. So in this village, like there's no firebenders that we know of. Like they're all just like non-benders. So do you think that in like these smaller villages that the army comes through and takes anybody who's a bender?
I'd say so, yeah. Like an automatic draft sort of a thing.
Yeah.
I think that tracks.
And then that just like leaves these villages even more in like a desperate place because we're still like in an era where like benders are so important to like people thriving.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wasn't a theory. I mean, I feel like that one's pretty.
Yeah. Because even if you go back to the headband, there weren't many firebenders around. It was just like normies.
Well, no, like there were firebenders, but like a lot of them were like guards or whatever.
They were already in some institution.
But like that village seems like really like distinguished or something. Like that's why I was like, I wonder if the academy is like a military academy or something.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it was very big and there was a lot of like influential people and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like they would keep firebenders there. Like, if you were from here,
For
maybe
training.
Yeah, maybe you got to just stay or whatever. But like if you're from like the smaller village and you're a firebender, does the army just come in?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. So
I like that idea.
Let's see here. What else do I have? Okay, so this one, I don't know. Have you read the Kyoshi novels?
Not yet.
Okay. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Okay.
But there is a character in the stories. And it's like Kyoshi's friend.
Okay.
And her name is I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Runge, but I could be saying that completely wrong. Um, um, a lot of people online are thinking that Runge becomes the Painted Lady.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Like her connection to the Avatar does something, and she becomes a spirit.
Yeah.
When she passes away. The only thing, the reason why I don't think that that works out is because I think in the novels, I think it's the second one, um, Range, because Kyoshi wears makeup. So
Um,
Range puts makeup on,
okay.
and she does it in the style of the Painted Lady. So then that would imply that
Oh.
the Painted Lady is already a thing by
Oh.
the time Kyoshi is Avatar. Um,
Hmm.
But yeah, I thought that that was an interesting theory, and so I wanted to share it all with you guys.
Oh. If
Um,
you hang out with Kyoshi long enough, the spirit voodoo comes into you.
yeah, something like that. And then like on the wiki, it even says that like the Painted Lady was just somebody from the village who was like so dedicated to the village and stuff like that that when she passed away, she like transcended and became the spirit of the river,
Hmm. Little
which I thought was
guardian action.
yeah, yeah. So, you know, is it Rungay? Is it somebody else? We don't know, but I think she's pretty cool.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like of all the spirits we meet, her and Yue I really enjoy, and Roku, of course.
I
But
really like Hey Bye. Anytime we see
Hey
Hey
Bye's
Bye, I'm like,
sweet.
let's go.
Sweet Bye in panda form is really sweet. Hey Bye in monster form is
I'll take
which
them both. You
how
know
does
me.
someone needs to cosplay Hey Bye? That if you could get the stilts, like the people who walk on stilts,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
that would dope.
Ooh, it would be. It would
Mm,
be.
I need to start thinking about that. How much are
Mm. All
like,
right.
with
And
the
then
accent proneness, probably not.
yeah, probably not. But the last theory again with the painted lady. So the reason why the painted lady isn't doing her spirit duties or
Yes.
protecting the village is because the thing that connects her to the physical world is the river. And so as the river got more and more polluted, it
Mm.
meant that she couldn't cross over from the spirit world and like help out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's an acceptable excuse.
Exactly. And so that's why at the end, once the river is cleaned, she she
Uh,
shows up.
that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah. And so and this is like I was finding this online and so I was like reading some discussion from people and they were like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense because Heibai is connected to the forest in that village in the Earth Kingdom and he still shows up." But like the excuse for that or the explanation for that is because it was happening so close to the winter solstice and therefore like the line between the physical world and the spiritual world was being blurred and so that's why he was able to like cross over. So maybe when the winter solstice was happening she was able to cross over and stuff like that, but
Well,
yeah,
and that was only a portion of the forest that was burned. There's still trees and stuff around. Like the
this is
whole
true.
river here is polluted.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like there's a little area of clean water she can tap into or anything.
Yeah, so that
Okay.
explains why she wasn't doing the things that she was supposed to do.
I guess I'll accept that.
Yeah.
It's a good explanation. I appreciate you bringing that one in because I otherwise we would have gone hunting. We would have gone searching for this.
Nope.
Awesome. Well, are there any other fan
Nope.
theories?
Nope, that was it.
All
Pretty
right.
I'm so sorry to drop that Shu and Doc and Mushi one on you. That one just
Oh
came to
gosh.
me. That I was like,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, they're just, they're just ill from the pollution. And then it was like my brain went one
pain,
step further and I was like, oh no.
emotional damage.
Oh, no. Sorry guys.
Rapunzel's right. Katie, don't cosplay as stilted hey bye. You'll break every bone in your body. I dropped a bunk bet on myself. I don't know what makes
This
me
is
think I
true.
could do stilts.
This is
Yeah.
true. I can attest to that.
Oh boy. All right. So, fan art. I have fan art. I have a specific section of fan art, and then I have cosplay because I can't resist this kind of cosplay. But first, we have this amazing one. I could not find the artist's name,
So
and I
good.
couldn't find their watermark. But oh my gosh, I love the colors and the detail and just like the watercolor aspect of it. Because if
Mhm.
you're going to paint a river spirit, it has to be watercolor, right? So I the detail and just you even got fingernails. I can't draw fingers. I draw nubs. So bravo to this artist for getting that beautiful rendering. Let me oh gosh. Where's the one to explain it? Okay. So I need to have that one and that one. Perfect. This one, I really like the idea behind it. The combination of the two of them. Like that's cool
Ooh.
imagery.
Yeah. Oh,
Just
I almost
combo
forgot.
move.
So, sorry, I don't mean to like
No,
um,
did it good.
Mae Whitman also voices the Painted Lady, and Mae Whitman does
No.
Yes!
So
Yes,
you're
I'm
telling me I
pretty
need her to
certain.
sign my turtle duck twice?
Maybe? I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty certain.
That's
Hold on,
cool.
let me find let's see.
Now, for anyone
Continue.
who doesn't know, Mae Whitman voices Katara, but she also is going to be at Motor City Comic Con coming up November 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I'm going to be going there to get her to sign the thing that I have everyone else signing. So now I just need Toph after this. Is it her?
I'm still looking, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty certain
Who
it is.
voices Painted Lady? Yes, if I mean, oh, there's so many people who paint and do such a great job, and they like it's amazing the skill that it takes to paint and blend colors. I'm trash at it, so
Yeah,
props
so,
to whoever was.
according to the wiki, Mae Whitman does voice the Painted Lady, which
Ah,
I think is so neat.
so awesome. That's cool too. They're just like she's gonna have one line. Let's just pay her a little extra. No need to go and cast it. Yes, this is a Blackbird's Fly, the artist who made this one. And then there's so much Painted Lady stuff out there, just really beautiful prints. And I could cover my entire wall with avatar prints that I find online. But I like the monotone color of it. It's very haunting.
Yeah.
So and the red really does pop. But you can take what is art and then you can take it a step further and take it to real life. And there's people who do that so incredibly well. I
Oh,
think I've
no!
actually seen a painted lady. Did we see it at C2E2? I could have sworn we had a painted lady at C2E2.
We could've.
Maybe. But there's people who are going out there and they're making their own painted lady costumes and they do these photo shoots, which I'm so jealous of because I would love to have a professional photo shoot and cosplay.
Bro,
We need to make that
hello?
happen. Yeah, well, yeah. So, okay, okay.
We'll carve out a whole weekend.
So, total other side tangent. I know I'm over the limit, but I'm going to Doctor Who TARDIS convention in Chicago in November, and I'm going as the 12th Doctor from Doctor Who. And there's one episode where the 12th Doctor rides in with a guitar while riding a tank into this medieval battle. So I have my 12th Doctor with a guitar, and I was like, how can I make this look better? I want to win the costume contest. I bought a 4-foot tall inflatable tank that I'm hitching up to my guitar and dragging behind me in this cosplay. It's gonna look so good. So if I do a professional photo shoot, it's going to be with that.
All right.
It's incredible. Louise Experio says, I find people really hard to draw. I try it at times, but I usually stick to aliens and cartoon characters. Your work's incredible. So I can't imagine how difficult it is if you find it tricky to get people down. So I'll just stick to being the subject myself. That way I don't have to draw it. But yes, now we get to the final element of the fan art, which is a crossover of sorts. Let's go with this one first. So we know that Katara is cosplaying as the Painted Lady. Who else do we know in Avatar who cosplays as a spirit?
Oh gosh.
There is a specific ship between the Painted Lady and the Blue Spirit, not Katara and Zuko.
Somewhere
Painted Lady and Blue Spirit.
I knew this somewhere in my brain, and I think I repressed it.
Yeah, well, the internet has it because that was one of them, and then the other one goes a little bit further.
Yep.
There's, I mean, the artistry is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's what made me stop and look at it. I'm like, oh wait, oh yeah, look at that scar. That looks great. Look at that
Wow,
moon.
yeah.
Like that's actually really, really good. It just it tosses you a little bit. I love it. I love what your guys' beautiful brains come up with. It's incredible. But that's it from me. There's nothing else for me. I think the next episode is
Sokka's Master.
Sokka's Master. Yeah. Is that when we start to see a little bit of Swole Row popping up?
Maybe.
I know he eats rice in it. I'm not sure if that's the same one where he's doing the pull-ups. But
could be. I don't know. Let's see here.
who knows anymore?
It's either
we'll
that
get
or
to it next week, that's for sure.
The runaway that he
maybe the runaway. Yeah, these ones all kind of blend together for me.
They really do. Tonally,
Like
they
the
all feel the
B-plots.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what doesn't feel the same? The Puppet Master. And we're gonna get into that one next week, guys. Oh my goodness. Excuse me, I'll be right back. I need to go write some fanfic. The internet has done that for you, Rapunzel.
You probably don't need to write it. It's probably
thousands and thousands of times over. Although I would be interested because I was telling my coworker this morning, 'cause she's in a book club actually reading real books. And I'm reading fan fiction, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm reading this like something 1,000 long word book. I said, oh, I read a 450,000 word fan fiction in one day last year. And she looked at me. I was like, yeah, that's longer than Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And I read it in a day. She's like, what was it about? I was like, you don't want to know. I'm wearing a microphone and we're at work. That's 2 no-nos. We aren't talking about it.
You're like, nope. I can't say on record.
Yeah, off the books. And the Nerdy Viking says, spirits do find love. They do. Oh, but that is everything that we have. We all agreed next week, same time, we will talk about the Puppet Master, which is just incredible. I might need to adjust it by an hour or so, depending. I have to check what our local trick-or-treating times are. I gotta scare some kids. Actually, I'm not really. I'm just doing my Lego Man costume. But
yeah,
it'll be really fun, and that usually terrifies people just because of how hauntingly dead its eyes are. But we'll see you guys back here for a skip ahead to the Puppet Master. Brandi, anything else to say for this stream?
Nope.
Alrighty, well, that's it, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Don't eat fish that are from polluted rivers, and I don't know how to end this. Don't pollute. Be a good human being.